Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Will Brothers Podcast. I am your host, Victor Guerra, who goes by Victor the Inspiration Online. And today we have my co-host, Alfonso Reyes, who goes by Muscular Dystrophy Warrior Online. Alfonso, you wanna
Yeah.
introduce yourself, show your beauty?
Yes, I promise you guys I will not have technical difficulties like last time.
Yeah, I know that was funny. His
Yeah,
mic
I'm
literally
like,
cut off, and then usually it like cuts in, and then it just completely got dead silent.
you guys know how our podcast started. Technical difficulties. Now let's see how it does with my headset. Let's see. Hopefully it works.
It's
Right
doing
now
like it's,
everything's so
it's actually doing a lot better.
so far so good, you guys. So hopefully we can get this episode going better than the last one.
Yeah, last one was funny. Actually, all these episodes are pretty funny
I
because they're
mean, at
they're
the end,
extremely
everything.
raw.
Yeah, at the end it was everything. Everything went well at the end, but at the middle it started cutting off.
Yeah.
So hopefully, so far so good, you guys. Let's see. Let's
If
see
you
what
guys
Victor has planned today.
Yeah, if you guys have seen our last episode together, is we talked about our journey playing wheelchair soccer, which is called
No, it
power
was something.
soccer. I and
I forgot what.
it was technically we recorded another episode where he gave his I interviewed him about his thoughts about my book, and right once it was like uploading, it got corrupted, which was my first experience. So that video was scrapped, and I wasn't going to recreate it just because I felt it was going to then be inauthentic. So technically on the history of the channel, the most recent episode is power soccer related, which is really cool. I think I could have sworn we created another one afterwards, but maybe I'm wrong. And I could have sworn we talked about something after.
Mm,
I can't
yeah, I
remember.
don't. Yeah, never mind. Let's just get
I
to
can't
this
remember. I can't
episode.
remember. But to move on is in today's episode, we are going to be talking about medical equipment. I think this is a pretty fascinating topic and discussion just because I have SMA type 2. He has Duchenne muscular dystrophy. So I'm really curious to hear his perspective and personal insights on these questions. So there's
Even
only
though most of it the same thing.
yeah,
Some of them will be the same. Some of them will be different. So I don't know. Let's see
yes.
how many questions are the same or different.
Yeah, so we'll let's get into the first one. So I generated the questions. I just looked at the first two questions and I kind of was like, okay, this is perfect. But let's get right into the first question. So the first question is, what piece of medical equipment helps you the most daily?
Data, that's simple. The wheelchair.
Yeah, that
I think
definitely.
everybody will answer that. Those that use a wheelchair, walker, whatever. I think that's I'll say power chair or
Yeah,
wheelchair, however you wanna call it.
yeah,
I
because
think
it's essentially your legs, so it gives you mobility.
I don't know if handicap van count because that one gives you important too.
That's a good one too.
I think
Yeah,
those
it's a
two.
handicap van because you need transportation.
If you don't have one of them, like it screws everything up, I'll say.
Yeah,
It doesn't matter the order, it can be the van. You have your wheelchair, but the van doesn't work. Or the other way, when you don't have your wheelchair, the man is just gonna be sitting there.
yeah. No, it's so
So
so true.
I
Like for
mean,
example, like my van was in the shop literally arguably this entire year. And we just got it back and it's going to be going back into the shop again soon. Interesting experience.
didn't you already take it Monday?
We took it.
Monday.
Oh yeah, we took it Monday, but we ended up keeping it just because we have an event to attend tomorrow. We're going to a baby shower. So we ended up scheduling the van to be back into the shop, I believe the end of June, if I remember correctly. And then it's going to be in the shop for roughly like a week, supposedly. That's at least what they say. So we'll uh, we'll see about that one. But yeah, I mean, fortunately, we do have the van back now, so it is nice to kind of have the opportunity to kind of get up and go. You know what I mean? It's been a journey being in like deep isolation. I know you can relate. You know, not
Yeah,
not
that's why I mentioned that.
yeah. The second question is, what equipment do people misunderstand the most? That's a
Man, I don't
that's an
know.
interesting question.
I don't know. I don't think none of them. I mean, I don't think because they never. I think it's always like the person that they don't understand, not the equipment.
That's a good one. What equipment do people misunderstand? I would assume from an insurance perspective is sometimes having to advocate that you need both a power
Wow,
assisted
I think
wheelchair
when
in addition to a manual wheelchair just because you need a backup.
well, I think when it comes to the insurance, maybe that's the only that they probably don't understand. But the rest of the those that don't work in insurance, I don't know. I don't think they really look at the equipment.
Yeah.
They
Or
just look
even
at the person.
another thing, another answer could be as well is what people misunderstand is the accessibility access to get into places because obviously our wheelchair is an equipment, right? It's a medical equipment. So accessibility isn't always there, isn't always available, or isn't always thought of, or they create a ramp just to bypass the law, right? Just to kind of say they're ADA compliant, but yet they have your ramp on the other side of the building, right there by the trash cans. You know what I mean? I think that's
Or
one
it,
thing.
but they don't have it. Half of it is accessible, the other half no.
Yeah. Or they don't have it. Or you have to drive all the way down the street, right between cars or through cars, and hopefully those cars are paying attention and things like that.
Or
I
go
think,
around.
yeah, I think the to simplify it is what people misunderstand is that accessibility should be for everyone to the best of the ability. I know you can't make everything accessible. That's I think unrealistic, but it is possible, and I think it is within human nature to try to make things accessible for those less fortunate, so to speak.
Uh,
The third question is what was the hardest device? What was the hardest device to accept? What was Okay, it misspelled it. What was the hardest device to accept?
advice,
It says
device or
it
advice.
says device. What was the hardest device to accept? That's an interesting question. I'm gonna skip
I
that one.
don't,
I don't like it.
yeah, I don't know.
What? Maybe I would think that would be relation to if we had like a talker, maybe, because that's like a term. That's technically a medical device.
Yeah, I know. All right, let's go to the
You know what
next
I
one.
mean?
All right,
So
next
let's
one
let's
then.
move on to the next question. Is what equipment gave you more independence? Oh, that's simple.
Wheelchair.
Yeah, yeah, definitely the wheelchair. What is one machine you are grateful for?
I think all of them, because all of them have their own function.
Yeah, they all play their
And
part, especially like respiratory wise, breathing
each
wise.
equipment has a part it plays, important part.
Yeah.
You don't have one of those, depending what machines you
Like there's
use.
really not one more important than the other.
Everything is essential.
Yeah, everyone is essential. What do you wish equipment companies understood?
Hmm. The needs of the patients.
In what
Because I
way?
feel, meaning like make it, uh, make it so the person feels comfortable in it. Don't just make them, make sure you know what the person their needs, like what machine is the best option for them. Don't give them the any option. Give them what's the best option for their disability. That's what I mean.
Like pretty much go in with the mindset and the perspective as if you yourself had to utilize that same very equipment.
Yeah, so I mean, when it comes to company, I feel like if it was owned by people with that disability, it would have made things easier because they already know what you need
Yeah.
from experience. I mean, companies, I don't think sometimes know what we need because they don't have that disability. So I feel once you have it, it's like I mean, if I have a company, I know what people with SMA need, people what my disability needs.
Can you give like an example as to what type of equipment you are more so referring from or to?
Every equipment.
Can you give like one? Like if someone's listening who, has their own medical equipment company,
I'll say wheelchair.
okay, in a wheelchair, so what exactly should they focus on?
make sure the person's comfortable. Listen to the patient because sometimes the patient knows more than you. Like if they tell you, I want my chair to be the same way as my old chair because this and that, like don't try to like change it.
That's a good point because you're in arguably in this wheelchair for several
You
years and
you're
you're
the
like
one who
just
know.
replicate it, you know what I mean? And it's unfortunately sometimes those pieces of equipment either go obsolete, so you do have to be
Or there's the other way. They were like, oh, you put this on your chair, it's gonna be more comfortable. And it turns out it's not what they told you.
yeah,
They made it sound like, oh, if you put this equipment will be better for your chair and stuff.
yeah. No,
Or you should do
I can
this.
see that perspective.
Or yeah,
They kind of just sometimes it feels like they say that just so they can kind of move on to the next.
yeah, so that's what I meant.
Well, the last question is, what would life look like without your equipment?
Honestly, I think there'll be a lot of struggles. I don't know what struggles, but I know things will be so it's already complicated, but those machines help you. Those equipment machines, they all play a role in helping you, throughout the day. And like I mentioned like earlier, if one of those are not there, let's say none of them are there. I mean, I don't know. Things would just be so messy and complicated.
Yeah, no, definitely. I 100% agree. The first
If you
word that
take
came to mind was the word
if you take
stuck.
off, yeah, because if you take everything away, let's say for example, everything's was taken away for whatever reason, I don't know how would you survive without those things?
Yeah, without that type of
Because they're essential. It's not like, oh, it's luxury.
yeah. It's a need, not a want at that point. It's like how would you feel waking up and you can't get yourself out of bed, right? Or let alone you don't have anything available to get out of bed, right? and uh and then that kind of like shifts the perspective as well. For me, the answer simply would just be I would feel stuck. As it is, you already feel restricted and stuck to some capacity, depending on the severity of your circumstantial disability. But to have certain medical equipment that does provide convenience, does provide more accessibility to some extent, and then to have that not be available for maybe your insurance doesn't go through, maybe your insurance ends, or maybe you have to go through hoops to get your medical equipment fixed or anything, right? It's so much bigger than just, oh, I need this fixed or I need a new medical equipment. It's so much bigger than that because then you now feel stuck, right? But um, but yeah, what do you think about that?
Yeah, I can agree with what I said.
Yeah, you cut off a little bit at the end, but yeah, this one is like very short. Really,
Wow. I
what?
didn't cut the end.
No, you cut at the end. What'd you say?
No, nothing.
No,
I was like,
you gotta say it now.
I didn't say anything.
You said
I think I
something.
coughed. I said the same thing I said, and you just messing with me. You heard that.
No,
This,
you really did cut out.
I said like it's almost the same what answer I said
Oh yeah, yeah, no, it
in
was.
a different wording,
Yeah, in a different wording.
but you guys get the point.
Yeah. Sometimes I like to give like two different perspectives, even though it's like the same meaning or same interpretation, is just because
Uh,
other people absorb information and retain information a lot differently. So like for
and
example, one person can hear something I said and they don't gain value from it. And then there could be something that you say where they're like, oh, I actually understand now.
yeah, so you can get the point easier.
Yeah, you can register the point across exactly.
All
Yeah.
right.
But yeah, this one was very, very short. It was literally like super last minute, like per usual. But I thought this
Usually we already have like a day plan. So,
yeah,
but today
usually it's
was
like 24 hours.
a day or two.
Yeah. But this one was like super last minute, literally super last minute. And but I thought this was a fascinating angle because I think this isn't one really talked about much. So it's to me it's a fascinating
I think we need to plan our
angle.
stuff after we finish recording.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, we could do that too. There's like so much going on where to me this is just like fun. You know what I mean? I don't really like I do take it serious, don't get me wrong, but to me this is more like fun. Um much more me, if that makes sense, where I don't have to like keep so much of a professional. I don't have to feel like I have to be not feel. I don't feel like I have to be so professional when interviewing, right? It's to me it's just two best friends. Like if it's a random guest, it's different, but like it's just two friends talking,
Or if it's
communicating,
our other channel, I mean,
messing around. Uh, you know what I mean? It's like just
yeah,
chit chat, just normal. It's like a different, I don't know how to describe it. It's like going
different
from talking
vibe.
to a stranger to like talking to a friend. You may
Talking
talk
to
the same
someone,
and you may be the same, but you talk a little bit differently, right? It's a different kind of energy, is what it is I'm trying to
well,
say.
I mean, we know you, like we mentioned, we known each other for several years.
Yeah,
So you
literally.
guys, those that know someone for several years might understand, how
Yeah,
it's different from talking to someone you just met. I'm like, if you mess around, if you joke around, they might not,
yeah.
like joking around.
Like for you, I can
For
mess around with humor because you know me, right? If I do that to like
obvi-
somebody else, they might be like, "Oh, he's unprofessional," or
or
"He's not
just
taking me
me,
seriously." You know what I
or
mean?
me, or me be too straightforward, be like, oh no, he's rude. Like,
Yeah,
no, I speak what I think.
yeah. You know what I mean? But like you know me, so it's different. You have a different
Yeah.
like my intentions are pure.
Yeah, I know when it's coming, something's gonna say.
Yeah.
And
But
he
I
knows when I'm gonna say something.
but yeah, I appreciate you guys for tuning in to another video of Will Brothers Podcast. I like this name actually a lot too. And
Yeah, I prefer this one.
stay tuned for it seems like realistically I'm uploading these like every Saturday. It seems like that's been going on.
I do it whenever.
Yeah, I do it whenever too, but it seems like it's every Saturday is pretty much more consistent with these. So pretty much where I'm going with this is stay tuned for next Saturday's episode. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. And as always, remember, grow through what you go through. Much love.